Hello and welcome to another first Descendant video and welcome to another look at Ultimate Freyna in Season 2. So I thought I'll revisit her in Season 2 and because I've made one or two adjustments to the build in light of some of the changes to the missions, buffs to other Descendants, things like that. So we have Ultimate Sharon now, two very good Transcendent mods for her, making her very good. Ultimate Viesa got a lot of buffs. Keelan is decent and a few other things. We have Void Vessel missions. We have the special operations in hard difficulty, which weren't that difficult to be fair. And of course, we have new bosses. And most recently, we got a nerf to Gluttony and Molten Fortress. So I wanted to have builds for those two things. Now, with Molten Fortress and Gluttony, I have built a bossing setup where you want to kill them in one phase before they get enraged. And for the mobbing stuff, I've actually had to lower the power because she was very powerful to begin with, and with the reactor enhancements, and if you improve the reactor, you don't really need that much power for the mobbing content. So 400% dungeons, special operations, white vessel, outpost, invasion, whatever you do, she's just so powerful. She just hangs back, throws her Q, smokes a cigar, and the whole lobby is running around trying to kill enemies. Meanwhile, everything explodes and dies with her ability. So I just wanted to briefly go over her build for any new players because Ultimate Bunny has been given away for free. A lot of people are starting to unlock Ultimate Bunny and they want to know who they should unlock next. In my opinion, without a doubt, Ultimate Freyna should be the top priority. And if you have Ultimate Freyna, this is how I have built mine. So first, let's quickly go over what she does briefly, because again, experienced players already know this, but for newer players, I just want to explain how she works and why she's so good. So let's get some Vulgus, and let me also add some audio because I like to play without audio. All right, so the way Freyna works is she spreads poison, toxins. So you throw her Q, which is like a projectile. It hits an enemy, does a big damage initially, and then it causes several tick damage over time. So we'll have multiple things taking away at the enemy's health little by little, and you'll have them running for several seconds, and that should be enough to kill them. Now, if I go into the build here, first I'll remove the Contagion mod. You can have a look here, I'll explain them anyway. So without the Contagion mod, she is very powerful and even very capable without the need for a contagion, without the need for a transcendent mod. So for her first ability, the Q, you see here, there's an initial projectile which hits with a 718 times multiplication of the skill power. Then you get a toxic puddle, so enemies standing in that puddle keep taking damage. Then we have a room zero trauma, which is another dot damage. And then we have panic. So you have one initial hit followed by 3 dot damages. The second ability is a defensive skill. We rarely use this, but this gives her a buff, and if enemies attack her, they take damage. This also has multiple ticks. Then we have the second one, which is probably the second most used ability, the putrid venom, which is again a puddle that she throws on the ground, and enemies standing in it take damage. If they walk out of it, their footsteps carry the toxins, and their other friends get hit and they take damage. And so multiple ticks as well over here. Okay. And then we have the ultimate ability, which is like a unique gun, a machine gun she pulls out. This is considered a skill damage, and it takes some of the mods from your gun, the gun that you're holding. So that is also something you need to consider and build into this. And this has by default 45 bullets. Depending on the weapon and how you've modded it, you can max it out further. Mine, I have made it to 94 bullets, and you need some time to empty that. This does so much damage, it makes the Enduring Legacy look like a handgun. So yeah, let me just demonstrate what she can do. So first, we'll do the Q. There's an initial hit, and then there's all these tick damages. Notice how much damage per tick we are doing. We are doing multiple ticks, and also how long we are doing. Also, we hit the guy in the middle and everybody's taking damage. We're still going. These enemies have nowhere near this kind of health. If they had 10 times the health, they would still die. So if I just remove the invincibility, notice how quickly they'll die. One hit is enough for most of them. There we go, all dead. You did not even need to spread it. Okay, so this is, remember, without the contagion mode, the mod that does extra damage. Well, not extra damage, I'll explain how that works. So let's make them invincible again. So this was without the Transcendent mod. Now the Transcendent mod, what it does is, the final thing here, panic, over here we have despair, over here we have decay, over here we have nightmare. It removes this one, and in exchange what we get is, basically when the enemy dies, they explode, and that explosion spreads out a puddle. So if there's any other enemy nearby, they will also take the damage. When they die, they'll also explode. So it just causes a chain reaction. Okay, so in order to show you that, I'll make these guys like this, and what I'll do is I'll kill the middle ones just to show you the range effect. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll once again remove the contagion, and I'll hit this guy here, the Farseer, and hopefully it shouldn't spread to this one. Okay, these two should be dead, but these two should be standing. All right, here goes. Okay, these two are safe. All right, let's spawn them again, and this time we'll use the contagion mode. Let's kill these again. Okay, now we'll put the contagion, and when they die, it'll spread further. Okay, that is the idea behind this. So here we go. Okay, these two are dead. You can see, and these are dead. So you can see how far it spread. This was like at least 10 meters here, and it still spread to this one. And when this died, they exploded. This causes a chain reaction. You can just sort of stand back. Freyna can just light a cigar and watch the whole map explode. So this is why she's so strong. She doesn't even need to spam her abilities that much, and she'll get a lot of damage done. Now, so what I have come up with this build is, this is more of a convenience build. I've gone for range, I've gone for duration. You don't even need to do that for range, to be honest. And same for cooldown. But because I had so much power, I thought, why not just build an all-round build where, yeah, we have more than enough power. We have a cooldown so low that we can get frequent use of our abilities. And we mod the Enduring Legacy so much that we get the maximum amount of ammo on our fourth ability, and also have enough duration to empty the whole magazine. Okay, so let me show you. So if I equip this gun here, the hand cannon, forgot the name of it, immediate execution. Okay, now if I pull out my ultimate, it takes the ammo from the gun. So I have only 71 here. By default, it's 41. This gun, I think I probably have one mod for ammo, so I get 71. Okay, now I'm waiting for this cooldown. Okay, now I'll equip the Enduring Legacy. First, look at how much ammo I have on my Enduring Legacy, 240. I haven't seen anybody with more than this. Okay, and now I'll pull out the ultimate again, and notice how many bullets I have this time. 94. Okay, by default it has 45. I have more than doubled it. And this is because when you're shooting at Colossus or like the 400% dungeon bosses, you want to have as much power and ammo on your fort, because this does more damage than even the Enduring Legacy. Okay, so let me now show you the other thing that we need to do with this build, which is have enough duration on our fourth ability to empty the whole thing. Okay, so by default we have about 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, by default we have 10. With the duration modes, I've managed to bring it up to 14.7. Okay. So let's pull it out and empty the whole thing. So there's no point adding more ammo into it if you don't have the duration to empty it. So you can see we've finished the whole magazine and we still have time. We could have had 100 there and we still would have been comfortable. So this is the build here. The other thing, as I talked about, was the range and duration. So you can see the cooldown, and the cooldown I mean. So you can see by default the first one has 11 seconds. I've dropped it down to only 2 seconds. And the third one is at by default 20. I've dropped it down to 3.7. And the most important one, which is the ultimate, 110 seconds by default. I've dropped it down all the way to 20.1. Now, some of it is down to the reactor as well. I'll show you that as well. But yeah, with the combination of the reactor, we have range with 2 mods, we have maxed out everything. So you can see here our contagion range when killed 6 meters, that has gone to 15, which is the maximum, and not maximum, is 2.5%, 250 times. Maximum we can go is 300%, so you can go to 18, but this is more than enough. You don't even need that much. I just put it there because I had nothing else to do, nothing else to put there, because we already had more than enough power. Similarly for this one, if you see the range, it is radius is 4 meters, we have increased it to 10 meters. Maximum it will go is 12. So we are almost there. We are 250% more. So this is fantastic, well balanced overall in my opinion. And again, like I said, the duration has to be enough, empty the whole thing. With the other mod, this one here, as you can see, cooldown is 3.7. Our duration of the swamp is 17.6, so much more. So you basically have very comfortable use of the MP as well. Like you can throw it once, wait a little bit, and see all the carnage yourself. So this is the build here. One mod for HP, then I have extension for duration, I have expansion and amplification control for range. Again, this is overkill, but again, I had nothing else to put there, so I said, okay, why not? For the power, we have focus on toxic, focus on tech. Now, if you wanted more power, you could use power increase instead of focus on toxic, but I wanted the cooldown to make it as ridiculously low as possible. And again, like I said many times already, we don't need that much power for normal mobbing content, 400%, special operations, void vessels, none of those places need this much power. So this is more than enough. So I went with this one here, and then we have, did I talk about range? Yeah, these two for range, and then these two, tech amplification, toxic amplification. Again, we don't have high crit, base crit on Freyna, so we went with these two mods. If you had high crit, you could go with front lines and emergency measures to take advantage of high crit for someone like VSA, for example, or Sharon. So this is basically the build, and nimble fingers here and MP conversion for cooldown. So I think I've covered it. Yeah. So power with these 4 mods, cooldown with these two, duration with this one, HP with this one, range with these two. That is it. You have ridiculously low cooldown, you have ridiculously high duration, decent range, not max, but still very close to max. And also wanted to talk about the external components. So this good old Slayer set, I still don't have a good sensor. MP, max MP is only 114. I've been hunting for one, but no luck so far. And for the reactor, I have a cooldown and duration reactor. Once again, if I needed power, I would have preferred something like tech skill power boost ratio, toxic skill power boost ratio, something like that. But for me, these two are in golden. I wanted cooldown and duration. Perfect. So even if I remove one of the cooldown or duration modes, I could still do perfectly fine. Let's say if I needed more health or something. At the moment, I have plenty. I have almost 7,700 health here and 10,000 defense. This is plenty for all the content that we just talked about. Now, I have mounting for machine gun, hand cannon, and beam rifle. So I have the beam rifle simply because if I want to go to the void vessel, I can just use the beam rifle. And I have a hand cannon because I like it. It's a lighter gun, looks cool and all. So, and of course, the reactor has been fully enhanced to 5 levels. This is very expensive, so I would say only do this if you have the ideal reactor. I have 2 gold rolls, and the two things I really wanted have enough power. Now, if there is more content in the game that requires more power, then I'll look for another one and try to max it out. Not cheap, very expensive, especially the precise ion accelerators. Those things are insane. So that is the mobbing build. Now on to the bossing build. Now this, okay, hang on, before I go there, wanted to talk about the 4th ability and how to add more ammo to it. So you saw how much ammo I have, 240 in the gun, and over here we have 94, okay? So in order to max this out, what you need is 4 of these mods. So you need 2 mods for extra ammo. So expand weapon charge, and then this one here, compulsive magazine. Now there are other mods for rounds per magazine, but this is the second highest one. This gives you 30% concentrate support. Insight also gives you 30%. Weapon tuning also gives you. Compulsives gives you 39 at the expense of a little loss to weak point damage. But we don't need that. We are just using the ammo to transfer to our ultimate ability. Now we have these two to increase the fire rate. This is again there to empty the fourth ability faster. We have duration, so we may not need it, but it still helps. Who doesn't mind a little more speed? And also, most importantly, rounds per magazine, 12% roll here. This gives me the maximum. Now I have other guns with slightly different rolls. For example, I have a Nazistra's Devotion. Now, ideally, the sharp precisions on the impact rounds works faster. So if you use the same setup, this will be good. But I got an 11.7% rounds per magazine on this one. And the difference here, very minor, but you'll see 93, one less bullet. So I went with the, what do you call it, enduring legacy, because I have one. Also notice I have two enduring legacies. One I have for actually shooting at the Colossus, and one for the ultimate, the fourth one. And so this is my build for the Colossus. So I have two enduring legacies. This one, at the moment, you can see my bossing reactor hasn't been fully enhanced. So I'm curious to see if I can one phase the gluttony boss. At the moment, I have to sort of improvise a little bit. Again, Reddit, I've seen Reddit, and a lot of people have suggested some builds and things. So basically what we do is we go up, throw our Q, and then do a little bit of damage with the gun, and then switch over to the gun that has more ammo, use the ultimate, and then you can one phase it equally. But if you start with just the ultimate, you just miss out a little bit and won't be able to one phase it. So for this one, what we have in terms of that, by the way, the Molten Fortress is a piece of cake. You can do it very easily without any issues. Gluttony we still need. So I'm curious if I can max out my reactor, maybe I'll be able to kill Gluttony in one go. We have been using a similar build since season 1 for bossing. First 4 bosses are very easy at this point because of the reactor enhancements. I can even take my mobbing build and kill the first 4 bosses in one go in like 5-7 seconds. But for the other bosses, like Swamp Walker is still harder than even Gluttony at this point, because he gets enraged very quickly. And so I'm just missing a little bit more damage. I have the maximum ammo in my 4th ability, as you can see. So I'm just waiting for my reactor to be fully enhanced. It'll take some time because we need a lot of those precise ion accelerators. But then I'm hoping I can one phase Swamp Walker as well. We can one phase Gluttony with this build, but with a little bit of tweaking. So what we have here, instead of the focus on toxic, focus on tech mods or the power increase or technician mods, what we have is maximize power and maximize skill. So this gives you skill power 87%, and this gives you skill power modifier 96%. Very good. The big downsides and the reason why nobody uses these mods is because it adds 50% cooldown to your skills. So in other words, this 110 seconds, this goes up to 220 seconds. So the idea behind this is you don't have to use it again. You just use one go and finish them. That is the idea. So we get maximum power here. That these two are the same. We also have dangerous ambush. So when the boss gets knocked, when you break 2 or more of their weak points, when they're down, this does even more damage. So that is why this is helpful. And we are going with the shield build because the Transcendent mod we are using is Venom Injection. So when you have Venom Injection and activated, you do more damage basically, but it consumes health and MP. So what we do is we build the Descendant for shield, no health. This will lock your health at 1 and you'll only have shield. So we have some shield and basically just use the shield to have like the reasonable shield. Again, we don't have to have a lot of health or defense. You are just trying to one phase the boss, and that is the objective. Like if you can't do it, you'll have to jump off the map or die to reset, because 220 seconds is almost 4 minutes. So yeah, so we go with the shield build, and the result is we have 4,869 max shield, insane amounts of defense because these have good defense. And what is it? Also Venom, Sinctium, this adds critical hit resistance and a little more toxic skill power. So we are trying to squeeze as much power as possible. And of course, we are going with the same Slayer set. So with this one, I am able to like do the Gluttony fight, not perfectly, but we can still do him in one go. And same for Gluttony. Only one that is not working with this, obviously, is the Swamp Walker. You can't one phase him, you can still kill him comfortably. But the new one, the Infernal Walker, because that guy is weak to chill, VSI is a better match. I am working on VSI. I have already gotten one of the outfits for the killing the boss many times, 75 times. I have equipped it on VSR, but yeah, I'll try and see if Freyna can do that. But yeah, VSR is much better for that one. For everything else, Freyna is amazing. So yeah, so this is the bossing build once again. Main thing is dangerous ambush, making a shield build and as much power as possible. Don't worry about cooldowns or anything. No range worries or duration worries. Duration, you still have enough to empty this, but you're trying to one phase and then get out. So you don't need to have your cooldowns or anything. The mobbing one, this I'm very happy with because this is very well balanced. Everything is good, very easy to kill enemies and things like that. So that is the Freyna situation in season 2. I still think she is still the best Descendant overall because some Descendants are good at mobbing, some are good at bossing. Freyna just is good at everything. So once again, have a look at how good she is. See, I hit the guy in the corner and everybody's dead. So yeah, at the moment, Freyna is just the best Descendant, most powerful for almost everything. Like the Infernal Walker might be the only thing that she's not efficient at. You can still kill them, but VS can do a better job. But yeah, that is my revisit, let's say, recap of Freyna in season 2. Still amazing. If you are new to the game, you have unlocked Ultimate Bunny, Freyna should be the next one because having such a powerful Descendant makes your life easy for leveling guns, building guns, collecting resources, farming for stuff. Everything becomes straightforward when you have one very good, basically the sharpest tool in your toolbox. Anyway, that is my Freyna recap. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.